My name is Christopher Shore, and I'm a fifth year MD PhD medical student. For today's video, I want to share with you some thoughts I've had recently about my training to become a physician. I recently have had a realization come from all of this that I'd really like to share. Are you ready to hear what this is? Let's just jump right in. This year marks the potential last year of my PhD. I'm officially in an 8-year program where a dedicated time of 4 years is allotted to complete a PhD. For the last 3 years, I have been knee-deep in cancer research. Nearly every workday and most weekends, I have been in the laboratory pushing my research into a thesis for me to present at the end of this year. As I round out this last year, I've recently been giving a lot of thought and reflecting on what my career in medicine and science has become. While I'm clearly not at the point where I imagine my in-career life will look like, I think I'm finally at the point where I can confidently talk about a lesson that I've learned beyond the viewpoint of a pre-medical student. Looking back, I don't think I ever imagined being at the point where I am now. I distinctly remember the span of time when I was applying to medical school. It felt like it was just yesterday. About 6 years ago, my life looked a lot different than what it does now. 6 years ago, a large part of my waking hours were spent on the whole medical school application process. I obsessed over this. I remember thinking about everything that I needed to get into medical school in the first place. Everything from getting recommendation letters to scoring high on the MCAT to working on research projects at my university. It was a lot, and it all mattered to me. There were times when I had to choose not to go out and choose to put more time focusing on my studies. It was challenging, difficult, and to be honest, at times a bit unclear. I remember feeling like an odd sheep in my friend group and even had people make comments about how absent I was. I just simply didn't have the time to simply hang out casually with friends if we weren't actively doing something. There were a lot of moments of sacrifice, hard work, and dedication, and honestly, a bit of self-doubt. I had several moments where I had no idea whether I'd get into medical school in the first place, much less an MD PhD program, where research was a huge criteria. I had thoughts of, would this all eventually pay off, or was I missing out on the best years of my life? Are you sure you want to go into medicine? Do you think you can do it? Do you think you can get in? When I found out that I got in to medical school around January of 2021, I felt an immense amount of relief. I'd gotten in. I had gotten in, but then there was a surge of, what the heck did I just do come up? Me, in an 8-year graduate school program, this was a huge amount of time, a huge amount of life that I was signing off. This wasn't just an 8-year vacation either. 8 years of long work hours, low pay, and potentially high stress. I had heard so many stories about medical students and PhD students who felt overworked, unhappy, and self-reported miserable. Why would anyone sign up for it? And why would I sign up for it? Could I even do this? I managed that doubt by delaying it until I started medical school. That was the way I coped with it. I thought, we'll see. At least I can focus on the fun things that I have right now, like meeting my classmates, getting all the medical school supplies, and spending time learning about the things that I've always been interested in learning a bit better. And don't get me wrong, this self-doubt and this doubt remained, but I figured, well, my future self can figure this out. And he did. Now that I've passed what is considered the most difficult part of my training path in this 8-year program, which is getting to the point where my research story is clear, reliable, and self-standing, I can really now see the final part coming together. I am repeating my findings and I'm getting it all together at this point. I had really tossed and turned about getting through graduate school when I was just getting in. There was a huge gap from where I was and where I wanted to be, and I wasn't sure if I could even cross it. And the piece of advice that I have through all this is, do you trust your future self to figure this out? I think you should. I think you should let your future self figure this out. And this isn't procrastination either. Not procrastination in the typical sense. I think for many of us, procrastination is just a word that we've been trained to kind of wince at when we hear it. Procrastinate? What? If I procrastinate, then I'll never get into medical school. If I procrastinate, how will I ever reach my goals? I don't think this is it. I think this is selectively choosing to delay the decisions and the feelings that aren't meant for right now. As I prepare to enter clinic and medical school again next year, a part of me is genuinely nervous. It's been a bit of time. It will have been 4 years since I had been in medical school classes. 4 years without simulated patients, 4 years without daily learning of what antibiotics are needed for what infections and what diseases and what diagnoses. 4 years lacking staying up to date on how medicine has changed with AI. Medicine might look completely different than what I was used to when I was in medical school. And this time it's graded on both how well I interact with patients and residents and also graded on my clinical knowledge. I think there's a lot at stake. And in all honesty, I think this nervous is expected and normal, and a lot of doubt has come up from this. However, as I have done in medical school, I choose to pass this one off to my future self. I trust that my future self will figure this one out when he gets there. I think we can all do this in any aspect of our life. There are times when we will be put up against a big challenge ahead of us. Challenges are great, as it's only through challenges that we truly understand ourselves. But challenges have their unique times, and worrying about a big challenge before it comes isn't going to help you get through the challenge any faster or any better. Everything has its time, and so do you. I'd really like to know what you think about this. Please let me know in the comments below. Is there something that you're scared about coming up, and what feelings can you postpone today for your future self to figure out? With that, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.